Alright you guys, it's March 24th and the chickens have been out all day, and I'm gonna update you guys on some things, but I'm not gonna do like a super full tour, and just kind of show you what's what. So I did a bunch of grafting. I cut this off a little bit ago because I had one of the plum buds take. So most of the plums failed. Most of my grafting was kind of half effort. I almost said a bad word. And so it was kind of good feedback. I was kind of going for how crappy can I do it and still get some success. So yeah, the chickens have been out all day because I left the door open. I got a new pepper to plant today. They're gonna love it in the shade. I've got roses blooming, more coming. The squash is doing well. The citrus set fruit. I did have one graft take up here, a little bud, but most of those failed. Not most, the other two. I did three, only three. Some nice roses today. This is Love Song. That's just a knockout. Chrysler Imperial. Pretty flowers. And this one smells good. Here's the first double delight with the longhorn beetle in there, getting his dose. The apple fruit set is really thin this year, so the tree is just having an off year, and that's okay. But the mulberries are starting to fall, and I really need to get a tarp over this because it's so much nicer to catch them. I don't know if you can see while I eat this, and it's so good. But the Pakistan is starting to fall. The cleavers are going to seed, which is an annoying time of year, but I definitely want to let the seed go. The chickens really need it. All right, this might be a longer tour. The peaches are getting close. Everything's almost. The blueberries right here, almost. It's kind of weird, they're all coming at the same time. All American Beauty, big old flower. And then the other rows, there's a few down there on Sun Sprite. It's a good fragrant one. But I guess grafting. So I did those plums. I did some plum over here. Over here with the mulberries that were just the fun practice grafting. Some of them look like they're gonna take. I mean, this, probably will. There's a lot of energy shooting up through there. Some didn't. That's a failed bud, I think, right there. I have pulled the tape off of some. So where I tried to bud onto bigger, thicker branches, the bark's really thick, and more fails on the big branches. Right here is a bud on a thinner branch, and that's taking. I can cut this right now in front of you guys and force that guy, which actually looks kind of like it's the Persian. And then these little twigs, so I came by earlier and this this bamboo had been banging on this one, but it's still growing. This is that ever-bearing mulberry. I don't know, Illinois, that's the popular one. Oh, and I did catch a swarm. So you'll see they're bringing in pollen, so they're in there. And I saw another colony just a minute ago swarming. So yeah, mulberry is just an easy one to graft. These both took, or should take. They're nice and a lot of energy behind them. Over here, I popped this open and actually had some green, so it might not be a failure. I might have opened it up too soon, but you'll see a little green there. And some others, this is a failed bud, I think. Either way, they're above it. Oh, sorry. There's a little green. That's definitely a failed bud. And then this looks like a failure as well. This one that I almost just broke is looks like it's taking, but all of this might overtake it. It's got a weak push. Like if it was a really strong connection, it would be sprouting more. But that last one was a cleft. The pawpaw flowers, we just missed them. I know I'm not going to get any pawpaw. I didn't want any. They got to put roots in the ground, but they're growing. They got some leaves. That little pawpaw patch. Lots of blueberries. They're fun. And so I definitely have found that the strategy is to spread out all the plants, and then the birds don't find as many of them. When they're all together, they find them all. So this colony right back here, I think just kicked off a swarm earlier today. Saw a lot of drones. Okay, over here we've got a whipping tongue, and well, there's growth on that, so it could make it. And oh, here's another one down here. So this is definitely pushing, so that's a good. The whipping tongue on this plum worked out pretty well. And eventually this one just needs more time in the ground, but I'm going to take some of these water sprout shoots and really put a lot of variety on this tree. It's going to be my 6-in-1 plum. That'll be next year's grafting. Let's see. I planted jicama here and it got sunburned because I pulled it out of like shade into full hot sun. So it got sunburned, and then there's the real, you can see the sunburn there. Let's see. I planted a new rose today, right here. That's Miss Dudley Cross. And the false flowers, taking forever, but getting there, almost open. I'm excited for that one. So new colony from a swarm catch this spring. This is a new colony, super huge swarm. Like this swarm over here, there's some more blueberries, was in a 10 frame medium swarm trap and had filled the whole thing up with bees, even though most of the frames were empty. So I put on 2 extra boxes, and I might even feed them just to keep them going. Chickens are tearing things up. You'll see my barrier trying to protect that little eggplant. I hope it holds. I actually have been keeping the chickens out more because they're drying stuff out, and we are getting really dry. So she's, get out of there. Eating that worm, eating that bug. You are blocked. You are blocked. You shall not pass. But yeah, they let all the moisture out, and I can't replace it. So, well, here where it's extra thick, it's not as big a deal, but it could be. It could be a big deal. So this is, I got pigeon pea, a couple that I planted, another new rose. Jump over there. The avocado got some shade protection, but it's coming back pretty well. And looking at how early for a fig. It's kind of weird. It's not its main crop, it's just like a weird super early crop. Here's Belinda's Dream, just dropped a flower, but the other new rose is right here. That's a Cramoisie Superior, which normally I want to go for like super fragrant, but it's a really pretty little red one. What else? Let's see. More blueberries. Now this one, if it doesn't get the big rain, these are all going to be little dry, shrivelly, tasteless things. So hopefully we get the rain. Alright, I do have to show y'all everything. So this is my 3 sisters' bed. Man, I really need the rain for this though, but the corn is strong, it's good. And yeah, the timing looks pretty good with the squash underneath, and the beans might be coming in a little late. So these are the beans that are going to climb it. Those little beans right down there in the middle, those are bush beans and aren't going to do much. The big ones. So tons more fruit over here on the Pakistan, about to drop down, and the chickens get it all. Probably won't get any. The Kiowa blackberries have a real nice blossom, pink and white. It's real pretty. So I had some challenges with the chickens laying soft-shelled eggs, meaning they weren't getting enough calcium. So I switched from this like rock stuff, and now they're giving them oyster shells. Oh hi, there's a rabbit right there. And those are my toes. That's the rabbit. Let's see, how far away are we? I don't know, 5-6 feet. Anyway, the potato experiment, This is the one where I added on compost, and it definitely like did something bad. It didn't even help. And this is a we're gonna see a seed that was sold online as the breast gourd or breast fruit or something. It was I think it's a fake. So yeah, the chickens, and they're getting more calcium, and I'm giving them less scratch because I was definitely guilty of that. So here's my beastly tomato that gets 12 hours of sunlight, and so I had to water. So this was the indicator. This potato got severely damaged. I was trying to go no irrigation, right? So when you're growing in compost or any kind of 100% organic stuff, when it goes bone dry, it's really hard. Sorry, I'm talking. And when it goes bone dry, it's really hard to re-wet, and so that's what the tub is for. The water will just run right through these, you know, and I can't do a slow drip. I have to bring a bucket at a time. So I watered everybody, but this was the one that got the damage. And honestly, it's going to get harvested soon, so it's not a big deal. But over here where we had the potatoes, these are the really big seed potatoes, and you can see they're coming up with a little more momentum than the squirrely little blue potatoes. This is sweet potatoes for slips, you know, grow your own slips. I buried them like 2 days ago. They had already sprouted. Eggplant that's new, mixing a lot of soil these days. We got some squash that starting to flower, and basil. Good stuff. I'm having to make a lot of boxes to keep up with swarms and things, getting those painted. This all fell over. All right, this is kind of messy. Let's see. Oh yeah, the avocado. Saw that. There's a nice light back here. There's nice energy back here. Ooh, here's a nice rose. This is Sugar Moon. This is a really good rose, and a really tall rose too. And the peach tree is over here. This one's nice too. Got a good fruit set for this year, and it seems like we're gonna definitely beat the bugs, because these peaches are gonna be coming off in in a couple weeks. It's not gonna be too long, but really need that rain for the dewberries to finish. That's the big one. Fragrant Cloud is another nice rose with a little tree cricket right on top. You'll see that. But this is where the chickens are just tearing stuff up, you know. I'm losing the lawn, losing the edge. This guy Nura, you see the value in throwing branches, letting them grow up through branches, protect it from the rabbits. I actually just need to mow and it'll come back into shape. What else? I mean, the other mulberries that are starting to turn are right here, so this is good to show you guys. This is the first native mulberry of the season. So if I cleared the understory a little bit, then the chickens would find more of them, but really most of them just go for the birds, to the birds. Tomato in the shade, not doing much. Let's see, more mulberries, hold on. Okay, so growth, there's still moisture under the deep leaves, but dry everywhere else. There's the regrowth on that sugar apple. And Anna over there had a few fruit. I guess I need to wrap it up. This is quite the ramble. So the first ripe loquat, maybe? They're coming real soon too. Let's see some yellow right there. So it looks like this year all the fruit's coming in at the exact same time. We got dewberries almost there. We got mulberries for sure that are here and coming. We got peaches right on the way, and blueberries. It's gonna be a all at once spring. Anyway, well, that's mostly an update, and hope you enjoyed it, and I'll catch y'all later. Peace.